Alright guys, it's time to investigate. Oh my gosh. What happened to Tenko? Tenko!
Hey!
Himiko, be strong, Himiko.
Wait,
Gota, if you shake Himiko that much, she's going to break.
But
She's not talking. It's like Himiko's not even here.
like I thought.
She must have been really shocked over Tenko. Let's leave her be for now. Okay. Himiko. Oh, I cannot believe it. It's the magic circle Kyo drew on the floor. Well, at least it was.
oh dear.
It's been completely stomped over. I suppose it was unavoidable.
Well-
Was this drawn with salt?
Yes.
Whenever I perform a seance, I always use salt.
What?
Are you feeling alright? You sound ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I have performed many successful seances. Why, I've even had spirits enter my ba.
All right already.
I don't want to hear about your stupid delusions. Maki doesn't beat around the bush. It's kind of refreshing, actually.
But
In any case, with all these footprints, I can't make out the original circle.
So what?
We'll find out in Kyo's lab. It should be written in the Cage Dog Village document.
Hey,
Isn't that right, Kyo? He seems depressed. I suppose that makes sense. How? Oh, I mean, I guess it could be. Hole in the corner. There's a small opening in the corner of the room. It doesn't look big enough for a person to get through, but still.
is this?
A hole. Looks like there's space under here too. Hold on. I can see something below. It looks like it looks like something dropped down there. What? Something dropped down there.
Got a minute?
After we check everything else, why don't we go under the floor and see for ourselves?
okay.
Let's do it. Dang, bro. Yeah, they could use the floorboards. I'm scared. It's the wooden dog statue used in the seance. I believe it's called the Dog God. Look at the writing. During the seance, this wooden statue was on top of the cage. It took 4 of us to remove it. This wooden statue is pretty heavy.
If I remember correctly,
Kyo said it was about 175 pounds. That's about the weight of 2 girls.
What?
What do you know about girls? Have you ever touched a woman besides your mother? What?
I'm kidding. Is this?
Heavy thing was on top of if this heavy thing was on top of the cage, the Tenko wouldn't have been able to get out easily.
okay.
You're right about that. That didn't sound like you were kidding earlier. Is this not something to talk about? By the way, oh, I don't want to look. Okay, by the way, I have no idea who it is. I mean, I really don't know who it is, but if I had to think about like, oh, what would make sense for the plot? Well, I think it's whoever's lab is revealed, right? So far, we have Kyo's lab is revealed. We have Tenko's gone, and oh, her lab was revealed and she's gone. And same thing with what's her name, bro? What's her name? Is it her name's Maki or what? What's her name, bro? Angie. Oh my gosh. Same thing with Angie, right? Her room was revealed and she's gone. So we have Kyo, who could be, you know, the person that did it. We do have Maki. Oh, Maki is the one that's investigating with us. So Maki Himiko going to. Alright, Maki Himiko going to. And Kyo. I think those are the only ones with rooms revealed that are still here. So those will be the top 4 suspects. I mean, other than that, I really have no idea. The cage, bro. There's blood on it. This is the cage used in the seance.
Is this...
It looks to be around 3 feet high and 5 feet wide. It is a pretty large cage.
Okay.
Big enough for a person to fit inside. During the seance, Kokichi and I covered Tenko with the cage. We were supposed to remove it as well. But it was Himiko who rushed in and removed the cage first. She has like that super strength, bro.
Hey,
Look at this.
is this...
A blood stain on the bottom of the cage. Probably Tenko's blood, yeah?
That's true.
I imagine so. This bladder must have been made when she was killed.
What do you mean?
Which means Tenko was killed while she was inside the cage.
Okay.
I think you're right. Tenko went under the cage before the seance. But when the cage was lifted after the seance, she was already dead.
Then...
If she was stabbed right when the cage was lifted, that would explain the bloodstain, right?
Huh?
Perhaps she wasn't killed during the seance, but the exact moment the cage was lifted. I don't think that makes sense because we removed the... Well, there was blood through her when Kyo lifted the curtain. I don't know. There's a rock next to Tenko's body. This must be. It's just a stone that they brought from outside, certainly. It is merely needed as a marker for her head to rest upon. Unlike this, Tenko had her forehead on this rock, hunched over. She had to make herself small enough to fit inside the cage. Alright, let's talk. I mean, not talk, but look at Tenko. Tenko's dead body. She took her last breath, crouched over like this. According to the Monokuma file, her only injury is the stab wound to her neck. The wound was fatal. This must have caused instant death. I didn't hear a scream during the seance. Wait. Understood. I would not say a word until the seance is over. Would Tenko really keep her mouth shut despite the pain?
Nope.
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
Huh?
What do you mean?
What's the point?
You were concerned about that, right?
Okay.
With a wound this deep, the victim is too shocked to do anything except die. You're speaking from experience?
That's obvious.
Of course, quick deaths are my specialty. Well, then that makes sense.
By the way,
The real question is, what was she killed with? I don't see a murder weapon around. You're right, I don't see an obvious murder weapon. That could be a clue. Tenko's last moments. Look at the floorboard! Whoa! The floorboard is loose. It's the one right underneath Tenko.
why?
Why is this floorboard loose?
If I remember correctly,
It wasn't like this before. It must have come loose during the seance.
Why?
Why would it come loose during the seance?
but
A floorboard this thick and heavy, would it come loose this easily? That someone must have loosened it on purpose. Candles hung on the wall. They're the only source of light in the room. There are no windows in this room, so without the candles, it was pitch black. But how did the culprit kill Tenko in complete darkness? It's the white sheet we used for the seance. It was placed on top of the cage. Kia was the one who removed it.
Is this...
The cloth is pretty thick. It's similar to a window curtain, but it's completely opaque. And on the back... Okay, at least there's a bloodstain on there. I was gonna question that for a second. Look, there's a bloodstain on it, right around the middle of the sheet.
but
but there's no hole in the fabric. Which means Tenko wasn't stabbed through this cloth.
Okay.
She was stabbed while underneath the cloth. I said things that made Tenko look suspicious, and now this. I'm sorry, Tenko.
Stop it.
Cry later.
What? Because.
Cry won't bring Tenko back, and if we don't investigate thoroughly, we'll die too.
Okay.
I need to find the truth and pin down the culprit for Tenko and all of us.
I guess.
You're right. Tenko would want us to figure it out so she'd have no regrets. That would be the best way to apologize.
Well.
Do these floorboards seem a little unstable to you? They're tough to walk on. The floorboards aren't nailed down. They're just laying on top of cross pieces. That's what Gonta told me. That's probably the reason when they're a little unstable. They're only laid on top. That's why they're unstable.
Well,
the boards are fairly thick and sturdy. I can't imagine they come loose this easily.
Is this?
But if someone wanted to remove a floorboard, they could easily do so, right?
okay.
I suppose.
Why?
First Angie, then Tenko?
How can this be?
Gonta so ashamed. Why Gonta no could protect friends? Poor Gonta.
Leave it to me.
I will become the guiding light that shines on you all.
That cannot be.
Why did this?
I knew it.
Kyo, I know the murder was pretty shocking.
But of course.
Of course I am shocked about that as well, but why did the seance fail? We performed all of the steps flawlessly. He seems more concerned by that than the murder.
Ah, yes.
If we've performed the caged child again, and summoned Tenko's spirit this time.
This is stupid.
Quiet about this, just tell me what happened during the seance. Both you and Shuichi were present, right? Did she get killed during the seance?
I see, yes.
True, it may be best to move past what happened, to know why the seance failed.
Is that so?
Just hurry up. At the time, in order to begin the seance, we had Tenko, the spiritual medium, position herself as a turtle within the magic circle, so her head touched the marker stone. Then Shuichi and Kokichi placed the cage over Tenko. And after that, I placed the white cloth over the cage. Then all four of us placed the wooden dog statue on top of the cage. Afterward, we stood in the four corners of the room. Kokichi and Shuichi blew out the candles.
Yes.
Finally, we all sang the caged child song. The seance should have been complete, but... And now that you mention it, I remember hearing a strange sound during the song. It is a mystery to me as well. I thought someone may have tripped, perhaps. That was a pretty loud sound for someone tripping. Perhaps Kyo knows something. Perhaps he knows something.
What do you mean?
And then what happened?
Yes.
We called out to her, but no reply came. I had Shuichi and Kokichi relight the candles. And then we all removed the items from within the magic circle in the opposite order. First, all four of us removed the dog statue. Next, I took off the white cloth, and then... Himiko ran over to the cage, and the moment she lifted it... Then it sounds like Tenko was definitely killed during the seance.
No.
It would not be difficult in such... But would it not be difficult in such darkness? Besides, she was inside the cage, yes?
Then
when was she killed?
Well, that's
That's the problem.
I see, yes.
There is another problem.
How?
And that is, why ever did the seance fail? I simply cannot figure it out.
Perhaps.
Maybe someone moved from their corner? Did someone else sneak in here?
What's the point?
Obviously, since the seance was clearly a sham. Maki was never one to pull her punches. Sound during seance has been added to the true bullet section.
Hey!
Maki, we finished investigating up here. Perhaps we should check under the floor?
By the way,
It seems pretty dark down there. What should we use for a light?
That's true.
Let's bring a candle with Keeble's light from up here. That should be fine.
okay.
Then I'll go get a candle. Remove that floorboard so we can go down.
Okay.
I pulled off some of the floorboards near the hole and took a candle from Maki. Then we carefully made our way through the hole and under the floor. Oh! This is a lot more spacious than I thought. There's some multiple bloodstains. You can move pretty easily on all fours. On all fours.
Okay.
Let's look around for clues.
Well,
It's pretty stupid if we found no clues after crawling around this dusty place.
Okay.
Dude! Whoa! Blood dripping from the gaps in the floorboards. Fresh blood. This is definitely Tenko's. This is dry? There's a blood stain on the ground underneath the loose floorboard. That's pretty far from where Tenko's blood was dripping down. It's under the same floorboard but at different ends. Why is there blood here?
hey,
The back of this floorboard has blood too.
Ah!
You're right. There's a little bit of blood on the underside of this floorboard.
what do you mean?
Did Tenko's blood splatter here when she got killed?
That's true.
I wonder, but I can't be sure yet.
Okay.
Well, these bloodstains here are completely dry. There must be some reason these particular stains are dry. There's more? Oh my gosh! Oh! The candle. Whoa! Oh! Oh! There's a sickle here. There's blood all over it.
Okay.
The blood on this sickle is fresh. This is it. This is the murder weapon.
Is this...
This came from my research lab.
Huh?
It did.
well,
A sickle can be used to assassinate a target. It can be thrown without losing any lethality. And you can hide it under your clothes too.
Well,
If she was attacked with this, she wouldn't stand a chance. The blade is about 6 inches.
that's right.
And since Tenko was in the cage, she wouldn't have been able to defend herself.
but
But even if this is our murder weapon, how did the culprit attack Tenko in the cage? The blade could fit through the gaps in the cage, but could it reach her neck?
That's true.
The cage is 3 feet high. If you were to stab into it with a 6-inch blade, well, it would depend on Tenko's posture, but I don't think it'd be possible. Then her posture is the question.
Hey,
If the weapon is down here, the culprit must have thrown it away, right?
that's true.
Perhaps after killing Tenko, the culprit threw the sickle under the floorboard in the dark? Or they could have been under the floor the entire time. Either of those is possible. Oh dear. Well, I don't see how you can get under here without being in the room.
Ah!
Look, part of the cross piece that supports the floorboard is cut off.
that's true.
It's near the loose floorboard, and the portion missing is about the same width too. From what I can see of it,
That's true.
it wasn't broken off naturally. This was cut by someone. There should be saws in the warehouse, so they could have used that. The question is why? Another cross piece is supporting the floorboard, so it might not fall if this portion is missing.
Then,
So what purpose did this serve? The floorboard underneath Tenko's body is loose, and the cross piece supporting it has been cut. If the culprit did all of this, then why? I don't know. What? Oh, they got in? Some of the wood has corroded and is broken off, so you can see it into the next room.
Hey,
This is the wall of the empty room, right? Looks like there's wood along the wall. This part is rotted away. It looks like natural rot. This hole wasn't made intentionally. But I could get into the next room through here.
that's true.
If I remember correctly, the room next door is also empty, right? And the culprit would have gone from room to room by moving under here instead of using the hallway.
No.
True, but it would have been difficult moving around under the floor. We did alright because we had a light. Without that, it would be pitch black. That might make it impossible to move around in there.
Nope.
Then they could have used the light like we're doing right now.
Well,
True, they used the light to move around under the floorboard? Is that possible? I think we finished investigating here.
is that all right?
Maki, you want to head back up? Glad you asked. I was starting to get fed up with all this dust. After Maki and I crawled out from under the floor, we put the floorboards back and returned to our investigation.
By the way,
We've only been investigating this room. You sure that's wise?
Huh?
What do you mean?
because
If Angie and Tenko have different killers, then the blackened we need to vote for is
You're right.
the culprit for the first murder. The culprit who killed Angie. That's what Monokuma said.
then
So instead of investigating Tenko's death, shouldn't we be investigating Angie's?
Okay,
Of course.
but
Well, this is bigger than the killing game. For the sake of the two who died, I need to reveal the truth of both their deaths. Well, I understand why you feel that way. But if you plan on investigating the other crime scene again, we should probably hurry. Kokichi, where'd you go? When I came to the hallway, a scene more surprising than I could ever imagine unfolded. Huh? What?
It's a lie.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did I surprise you? Were you gonna scream in terror? Oh my gosh. Oh, bro. It's a lie. What is this guy?
huh?
What are you doing?
Oh?
Oh, sorry, I'm just a little lightheaded from the blood loss. Yeah, this is real blood.
Why?
So what are you doing? I got curious about something, so I decided to search the empty room next door. Then suddenly, I stepped through the floorboard.
Huh?
You stepped through a floorboard?
That's so mean.
Jeez, that got me good. Because of this, I tripped and fell pretty hard.
got a minute?
If you're going to lose consciousness, do it after you tell us everything.
Ah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I guess there was no cross piece supporting this floorboard, so I kind of stepped through it. What bad luck. The cross piece was gone? Does that mean... No way! It's over? Dude, Kokichi's...
Confidence. Dreams.
Kokichi's
That's
cool.
what the killing game is all about.
No, but there's no way it's over. Oh my gosh, that's not... I feel like that's not enough. Like, I actually... If I'm not thinking about, like... If I don't think about this as a game and not think about the plot, I would have no, like, clue who did it, bro. I have no clue. I think it's the same person for both killers, though. It would be nice if the plot twist is, like... I mean, it would be nice if it's, like, two different killers and you just have to live with them. With the second one, but... Oh, man. I don't know. Okay, that's a good hint, though, Kokichi. Man, he's such a troll. I thought he was gone. I was like, no way.
Killing game fans, hold your head high and watch watch with your own 2 eyes. Baseball, soccer, mobile games. They're all nothing compared to the killing game. The killing game just can't be beat.
What are you saying?
Behold, students, the entrance to the trial grounds.
I guess time's up.
Oof.
Oh man, it's because of you guys. I didn't have enough time to check something.
Huh?
What were you trying to check?
See?
I wanted to research the science again, so I brought this document with me. But unfortunately,
Man.
I couldn't find anything new that could be a clue. Kyo perfectly reenacted the science as what was written in the document. He drew his magic circle the same exact way as this picture. Not only that, he used the same exact tools too. Nothing suspicious about this whole thing. Well, I wanted to check the finer details, but I'll tell you about it later. Is Kyo actually very sus? At the class trial, so see ya there. Kokichi laughed, the blood loss clearly affecting his footing a bit. Bloody Kokichi has been added to the True Bullet section of your monopad. Let's go to.
That's true.
Okay. Is Maki nervous? I see, so even she gets nervous sometimes.
Do you want to die?
What are you staring at? Oh dear. You're gonna make us walk there? Buff Monokuma. Oh, there's not a lot of people already, bro.
Oh dear.
It would appear we have all gathered, but it seems there are less and less of us.
Oh.
Less friends mean that it's much harder to solve mystery.
Don't worry.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure you've gotten a little smarter by now, Gonta. Yeah, Gonta will do his best to help. I'd want you to graduate from super dummy level to at least Kaito level.
What?
What's that supposed to mean?
Are you okay?
I guess, yeah, because Kaito's like a little bit above Gonta, maybe? Yeah. In terms of IQ and smartness. More importantly, are you okay, Kaito?
Ah.
Yeah, I'm feeling better now. But wow, Maki Road sure does pocket punch.
I don't know.
It's your fault. You don't need to worry about our dwindling numbers. Only dummies have died so far. What?
That being said,
I know it's a tall order, but try to use your brains this time so I don't have to use mine.
hoo-yah!
These golden brain cells of mine are a gift to the entire world.
Unacceptable.
It's as though every time you open your mouth, you become less likable.
Rest in peace.
Atua, please lend us your power.
But
It may be difficult for us to rely on Atua, considering what happened to Angie, whom Atua loved most of all.
Well, you know.
She shouldn't have relied on Atua in the first place. But seriously, it's kind of funny seeing a robot believe in God, especially Atua.
I also...
So what? Robots can believe in God?
Indeed.
Actually, before I even met Angie, I had a similar experience. Hearing voices, I mean. You might call it an inner voice. It tells me to do what to do whenever I'm in trouble.
Got a minute?
How long are you gonna say that for? Atua and a ghost don't matter right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, the trial this time is gonna be rough. We got caught in Monokuma's trap.
Huh?
His trap?
That's right.
He probably made the 4th floor so scary on purpose to prevent me from investigating.
Oh, right already.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
Hey, so
Shuichi, say something.
Huh?
What should I say? Huh? I'm just gonna go straight on ahead, bro. Who would cut the floorboards though? Or the cross pieces? Why? Is that what the thud is actually? The thud is the cross piece getting cut off, and then when that happened, I guess she like shifted a bit because it's loose, and that's when they got her. I don't know. As usual, we walked toward the elevator in silence. As soon as we remaining survivors stepped aboard, we descended. Perhaps because there were fewer of us, the elevator seemed to move faster. And so we fell faster and faster downward into the black. Dude, it's always so sad to see this. There's hardly any of us. Like, bro. Maybe there's like half of us remaining or something. The elevator stopped, and just like always, the doors parted slowly. The light that shines on us from the other side, the bright light of the future. Or is it?
Uh-oh.
Boy, they look really depressed. Must be because there's even less participants now. Don't say they look depressed. You'll make mono damn sad. As much as I'd love to keep hearing this adorable back and forth,
Now then,
let's hurry up and get this started.
extreme!
At last, the class trial will begin. I hope you enjoy it to your heart's content. The third class trial was about to begin. Angie Yonaga, the ultimate artist. She created the Ultimate Academy Student Council to try to prevent the killing game. Then Tenko Chabashira, the ultimate Aikido master. She hated men, but I knew that she hated this terrible killing game even more. The two who were killed were both trying to stop the killing. And who was the one who killed them? Was it one person? This one's all clear. Look at this. Two different people. We need to pin that down in this class trial. In order to live, we need to find the truth. And I will fight for it. I will fight with truth and lies in this trial. Let's see, increases focus maximum. Sure, why not? Boom, baby. Look at me not transferring the skills over. I did not do that last time. Oh my gosh. So I didn't get to take advantage of attentive influence at all. Silly me, haha. Let's go and start the trial. Let's see what happens. Part 1, baby.
Now then, let's begin with the basic explanation of the class trial.
Manosuke, no.
During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is and vote for who done it. Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate from this academy. Also, refusing to vote will result in your death, so you better vote for someone. Now, smiles, everyone! It's showtime! Let's get this crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time. Because of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
Oh no.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
Shut up! I don't need to hear some comedy act from you two weirdos.
Himiko?
Who did it?
Oh, she mad.
Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment. There may be two killers.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
Hmm?
What do you mean?
The transfer student. Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
Say something, Shuichi. It'll be a mess if this keeps going on.
Is it even possible for a revived corpse to be the culprit? Well, in the interest of being thorough, I should clear things up here. I can't believe we have to talk about whether or not a ghost did it first.
This crime was committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates!
No!
No!
So, ritual did work?
No, because the
Who's
book wasn't
resurrected,
burned.
I wonder.
Angie did say she was gonna bring Rantaro back. Yes, Rantaro was resurrected. The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Please, stop it!
Shuichi, say something. This isn't about believing in reviving the dead. I have to focus on the statements. Well, were all the statements correct?
So, ritual did work? That's wrong! I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us, you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ashes. Use caution. Be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy and repeat the name of the deceased 3 times.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Then, going to think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Probably not.
I guess you're right.
Well, duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
Now hold on a second. I can't let that comment stand. Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
Daddy said so he can't be wrong. Raising the dead is totally possible.
Man, I can't believe you guys wasted such a perfectly good motive.
We can't use it anymore?
You should have let me use it to bring Monodum back to life.
Monodum is still alive, though.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
Oh dear.
Oh? So resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
There's no way it's possible!
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us. Let's hurry up and find out who the Blackened is.
If our transfer student isn't the culprit, then blame falls to one of us.
Who? Who did it?
Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this. I don't know about Tenko, but I'm pretty fucking sure Kyo murdered Angie.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb with me, Creepshow. I already know what happened.
Oh dear.
The culprit used a katana to kill Angie.
Yeah.
And it was found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Whoa, did not
Just admit
care.
it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the classroom, broke in.
Oh, you can't break in. Eh.
That's wrong! No, Kyo would not have been able to enter Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
And Kyo is not a member. She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Kyo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
Oh, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are Gonta, Kibo, Tsumugi, and Himiko.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie. I trust their friendship. You guys do too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Obviously. Let's believe in them.
Oh my gosh.
That trims our list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi, and Kibo.
Look at Angie's picture.
Yep,
There's
yep.
a
The
devil
culprit
on
is
there.
one of those 3 people.
You mean one of those 2 people? 'Cause a robot ain't people, Jack.
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations just a tad too hasty?
Whatevs. The culprit should confess already. Gonta, Keyboy, or Tsumugi? Well,
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
Torture might be a bit too far, but Gonta and I aren't the culprits.
And I'm not the culprit either. Jeez.
Gonta
I'm not the
You're
culprit.
not the culprit.
Here we go. I'm plainly not the culprit. Stop saying that. Stop saying plainly. Oh
We
boy.
must consider other
gentlemen.
possibilities. Surely there must be suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
And do you
That's
have
utterly
an alibi
impossible.
for last night?
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone could open
culprit.
that
Book
door.
friends.
Why?
Only
Much
student
better
council
than
members
being
had
out too late
access.
at night.
Look, I don't know who the
Ask
I
culprit
didn't know
is,
robots
Kyo
told such
doubt
boring
Gonta.
lies.
but it's definitely not me.
Is that a robophobic remark?
Jeez, there were several suspicious statements, but one is obviously inconsistent. I wasn't carefully sort the statements in my head and find the answer.
We must con-
Why?
Only
Much
student
better
council
than being
members
out
had
too late
access.
I heard it! No, it wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
Kokichi pulled out some thin needles and stuck them into the keyhole of the lock. Click, click, click. Clack. There, open says me.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah, I did it. I killed Angie.
Bro. Hmm?
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie. The culprit was me, all along.
What?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins. And it helped. I feel so much better. Whew!
Wait, so Kokichi really is culprit?
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe?
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
No, definitely not a lie. I killed Angie. Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
Oh.
What different method?
Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was...
The one that was locked last? Well, the back door.
That's it! The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
The tool that the culprit used to lock the sliding door from the outside was... Oh.
I see it!
There's like 3 different items. I just chose the first one I saw.
The gold leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy.
Effigy?
The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock
gosh.
to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock because...
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school bell.
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with a katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
The clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigies hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No.
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
A different purpose. What could have that been? What could have that been? Or what could that have been? Bro, the culprit used this setup to lock the room. In that case, I need to know the reason behind every step of that setup. If I do that, the way the culprit locked the room should be clear. Psych taxi. Oh. Did they swing the effigy of Kaede? And then right before they left, they just like they swung it and then hoped that the katana will bump into the door? I don't know. It was hanging upside down because you could swing Kaede, right? What turned the handle of the sliding lock? It's the katana. Good. No, oh my gosh. What was done to move the katana to turn the lock? They gain time. Ah. That was good, okay. Jeez, a long one right here. Ah. How was the fee manipulated to make the katana affect the lock? A Figi was manipulated? Yeah, swinging back and forth. Right? It's gotta be swinging back and forth. Oh! Make it what? How was the Afigi manipulated to make the katana affect the lock? By making it fall? It wasn't falling though. By spinning it? Oh, spin it so you can whack it, not swing it. Right? Hopefully it's this. Good! Oh boy. Oh, so you spun it instead of swinging it. Okay. It connects.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy
Effigy. I keep
was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
effigy.
Effigy spun?
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way. And of course, the katana would spin with it.
Bro,
I
next level
see.
stuff.
So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with the katana.
Wow.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us. Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
I think so.
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
Yes.
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
They should have burnt the Necronomicon then.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed.
But now it's there, so we
I
can
don't want to
use that.
completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
To catch the culprit.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh, man. You guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
Okay.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Oh.
Okay, I'll start right now.
No.
All right, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Mew, I can't hold it up anymore.
Hey.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Whoa, what's happening?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
She's happy about that? Oh my goodness.
What should we talk about now?
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
It's kind of sad. They keep leaving out Himiko because they don't think it's Himiko, but it could be.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
It's fine. That's just a waste of time.
Me? A suspect? I'd never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider! Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Oh dear.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Oh.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
Himiko?
Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her?
Himiko...
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give 2 shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko, worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously! It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah? Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless.
Alright.
The name of the curse is Death Curse.
Death Curse?
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Yeah!
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too!
Same.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Kaito.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
What do you mean, was that intentional? Was it Kyo, Himiko, who, like, they brought it up? Who? Oh my gosh. I don't know, man.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Tancrotch!
The people who attended the seance. Oh, okay. It's Korekiyo, Shuichi, Himiko, not Kibo. This one.
That's it! It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
Oh, Himiko still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Oh. However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle room. The middle room's always the best for stuff like this. Very well, I shall begin the preparations at once.
Oh, right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
A point of entry from outside. He must be referring to... the corner? This? Or the floorboard? I think it's...
There! You're talking about under the floor, right?
Or, yeah.
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me.
Huh?
Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
What are you gonna say?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Oh dear.
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
Ah.
You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor
Could have used that
and
function.
sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second!
It's true that with a little light, you can move around under the floor. But is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
What am I supposed to say? Loose floorboard. The loose floorboard right below Tenko. It was not loose before the seance. Oh gosh. There was dried blood. Oh, what am I supposed to say? A hole in the corner of the room was held in. A hole that the corner of the room the seance was held in. A hole, yeah, okay. There is space under the floor so you could see what was dropped in there. A function that Mew added to Kibo, he can emit a blinding light from the eyes. It was completely dark. I don't know what to say. They used it, how did he... It's true that with a little light you can move around under the floor. But is that possible? Wouldn't it have to be the corner?
By crawling under the floor.
How do you even get to the corner, you know what I mean?
To get under the
floor. Sure, it's crammed under the floor, but there's enough room for one to move around. Especially if they had Kibo's flashlight.
Oh no!
I don't know.
The culprit sneaked in.
Under the floor? Bow. Oh, those are the only three? The first one is that they had a light. The second one is that it could be a candle. The third one is that they used the light to go under the floor. What am I supposed to say to that? Like, what? And then all this tells me is that they could use the light and go under the floor. Or move around under the floor. But is that possible?
The culprit sneaked
What do you
in during the
mean?
seance.
Time's up. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen stuff like this. Something like this. I made too many mistakes. Do they think I did it? Done debating already. Well, the next part is mandatory, so let's get it over with. It's voting time.
Is this really the end? We can't let it end here.
I have no idea what to say. I think the caged child, it has
But
to
it
be...
was pitch black during the seance.
You have to keep it dark. We
How
would
could
have
they
seen
even
it,
see if they were
right?
under the floor?
The light.
That's wrong!
Hole in the corner. You will be able to see the light. Oh my gosh.
I don't think the culprit could have used a light while under the floor.
Oh my goodness.
There was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
There we go.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
It was, yeah. My brain.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Okay.
Geez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
Oh.
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch-black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Yay, Gonta!
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that.
Well, it's not like the
That'd
last
let
game.
the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Hey, you're referencing the last game.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
Okay, Monokuma.
Her corpse didn't have any trace
It's
of glowing
like, boy.
paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
I don't
the
know.
loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
Huh?
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
This is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point, you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you. Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over.
Yes, she was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
Oh gosh.
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
Oh, it was removed.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads. Huh? Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Oh dear.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time, and she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
Huh?
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast.
When cage was lifted,
So
the white...
fast, no one saw.
No, the white sheet.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
It was me.
Bro,
Then
what?
obviously Himiko is the culprit.
No.
There's no doubt!
What? Tenko not being killed during the seance? That might not be impossible, but there's no evidence
When
for it.
Tenko got...
Then Himiko
Who is the culprit?
Okay, I'm gonna get the one where Gonta said something. If the culprit killed her when they opened the cage, then only Himiko could have done it.
Oh no!
What was lifted?
Yeah, okay.
That's wrong!
That's wrong. My mistake.
No, it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted. Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
Bro.
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remote
Oh
right
my
here.
gosh. Oh, scary me.
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
Oh my gosh. Uh-huh.
What?
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
Okay.
Tenko died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage!
What?
They stuck the thin blade through the gaps of the cage. And that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
Sitting in there?
She wasn't that far from the cage's gaps. In which case, the person who lifted the sheet is the culprit, and that's none other than Kyo!
There has to be a hole in Mew's logic somewhere. All I have to do is show the
The
evidence.
blade's all... Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
I'll cut through your words. Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage.
Oh, that's what I was supposed to say? I can't think.
She was bent over with her forehead against the
I
marker
can't.
stone. And the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries, Gonto.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
Huh?
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
What are you talking about? That's not possible!
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that! Screw spirits!
Screw spirits.
Stop that now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
Tenko?
Why?
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible! Spirits can't be culprits!
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done
wait! I know! What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
Huh?
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
No.
What?
If there was someone else in the cage, we would have
I agree with
noticed.
Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
Oh, you do?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
I'm so confused.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
The day she's referring to. They could have killed her at any time? Are you saying that Tenko did it herself? The person is... Because she's the only one in
I
the
believe
cage.
Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
Yeah? What did you say?
Uh-oh.
Are you saying Tenko was the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out. She volunteered to be in the cage, and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Oh my gosh.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
No reason?
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Hey Angie, when did you brainwash Himiko?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Whoa.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial, so she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her. Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
I'm just...
What are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that.
I don't know if I said this before, but he sounds like Fuyuhiko. I don't know if they're the same voice actor. I'm just like thinking about that in the back of my head.
Told me.
She told you what? Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait! We should believe Tenko's last words!
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them.
Well,
That's
okay.
why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
It's probably not good, yeah.
Whether or not I believe. My heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe!
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
A proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said. Okay, everyone, I'll see you after the seance. She said see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that she did it herself. We shouldn't be satisfied with that, and if we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. And that means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe. Are we at the halfway point? Oh.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
She's so
But
mad.
if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
Everyone thinks that Tenko committed suicide, but only because they're latching on to the easiest answer. The girl died in a crouched position. The injury in the back of her neck was deep, but probably not enough to kill her immediately. The victim was stabbed in the back of her neck, resulting in death. I don't know what to say, bro. Oh my gosh.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her.
Shuichi, is that evidence, or are you letting your emotions get the best of you?
Oh no!
So I have to prove that basically Tenko didn't do it. She's curled up like a turtle, though. It's not a lot, I don't think it's a lot of room to really do much of anything. And then you'll have to climb back up. I mean, it seems really hard to do. And then what? The hole in the corner? It was on the back of her neck too. That's kind of strange, isn't it? Like, why would you do it on the back of your neck?
So she hit her true.
I think I think it's the last effort one that I have to focus on, but I don't know which one to do it or use, and I'm really tired. So. Whoa! It was on the back of the neck. How can you use the last effort to do something? Wait, what does the hint say? Or not hint, but everyone thinks that Tenko committed suicide. But only because they're latching on to the easiest answer. To get out of this, I need to make them think.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Okay, so I do have to lie. I have to make them think that it wouldn't work. Again, my brain, I just feel so tired all of a sudden.
And then
Finally, with the last...
I really had to lie about that
revealed the
and say
truth.
that she died right away.
Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor.
My bad, I'm so sorry.
Because she died instantly.
I forgot we had to lie.
Instantly?
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
We're lying, baby.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly.
I guess sometimes I have to think like if I can't find the answer, well, let's think like what's the opposite? What is something that can refute the weak points that are the opposite of the truth bullets? So like, for that one, Tenko died instantly. Okay, I didn't know that. Tenko's last moments, opposite is Tenko died instantly. Cage Child, opposite is that we didn't perform the Cage Child. I don't know, but you know, I guess I have to think. I have to think
I
like
have
that.
no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Okay.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki Roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
We've lied in like every trial now.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance?
The thud.
If you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
The sound. Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery. Oh boy, this kind of feels long. Sound, yeah, there we go.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there. I mean, it was totally pitch black. My job was to relight the candles. Moving along the walls.
It was pitch black during the seance. That limits what could have happened.
I heard something fall.
I agree.
Yeah.
Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
At least they're not singing that song again. Oh, it's a bang. It's not a thunk.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard. What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Maybe not the ceiling.
Yeah. Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
Wait, really? Wait. A loud sound, like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark. Other thing? What? What? What am I supposed to say? The other thing? Dude. The loose floorboard. I mean, it's loose. The other thing that happened in the dark? What are you saying? What caused the sounds that was heard during the seance? Okay, I don't know then. Gosh. It could be this. They chopped it off and it just fell on the floor or something. That has nothing to do, and that has nothing to do with the sound of the seance. Nobody's gonna believe you anymore if you keep saying random things, you know?
I was wrong!
I mean, it has to sound heavy, I guess? It could be the dog statue. It could be really loud. I'm gonna say the statue.
Oh no!
Help me! I'm too tired. Oh gosh. What caused the sound? What caused the sound during the seance? Wait. I chose the loose floorboard, not this one, right? So what's... Oh. Okay, maybe
I was wrong!
Maybe it is the loose floorboard.
This is it!
My bad.
I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound.
Oh, okay.
That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
would the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
I didn't realize there were two different bullet
It was the
points.
sound of an intense impact.
Man. Mm-hmm.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. There would have had a strong impact to make that sound, but what was it? What could it be?
All right, then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now. So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
No.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
So that's not
Culprit
it.
hid under floor, then stood up with such might.
Stood up with such.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Whoa.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and balls are the best of friends?
What the? What am I supposed to say to that? What would have made a strong enough impact to knock the floorboard loose? Oh. One of the cross pieces that support the floorboard in the room was held in. Only the portion that supports them. Yeah, that's it. Removing a floorboard in total darkness seems somewhat impossible, does it not? I think it would have been difficult to remove. Ugh, I messed up. Stood up. That makes no sense to me.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
Stomped?
That
Wait, they could have. They could. That could be it.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
I agree.
Yeah, there we go.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
That was the first time, though.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
What did they stand to gain? That's the question. To solve the case, I need to think carefully about the cross piece and the floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard, and the cross piece that has been cut was on the other end of the floorboard. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. Only one of the cross pieces was cut, the other were intact. One of them was right under Tenko, and the other was in the center, where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? Think. Oh my gosh. What happened when the loose floorboard was stepped on? Dude, this is tough. I don't even know. Okay. I would not be able to solve these mysteries, man. Oh, I forgot I can do that. It's a seesaw? Wait, see. Seesaw swing? I don't know. I'm about to die, guys. Seesaw E. What? Seesaw what? I don't know. F? Oh gosh. Seesaw effort. Oh. But I don't see any T or O. I don't see an O. Oh, seesaw effect. Bro. I need T. Seesaw effect.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Yeah? A seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever.
Someone would have to be in the room with us then. Is it actually Himiko or Kyo?
A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that. Unless they used the sickle.
How?
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
The floorboard, seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusions can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. Oh man, oh. Between the victim and the floorboard. No. It has to be under the floorboard, right? Perhaps the sickle was attached to the underside, but then how do you get it? The floorboard would have had to flip for it to hit her.
Oh no!
Oh gosh. The sickle. It can't be. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm dead. Okay, I don't know. Is it really at the top of the cage? Because that's the only part where the blood marks are. But the cage would have to move too. What? Anyway, so it's next to the cage. Oh my gosh. How? Would it be able to kill? Would it really be able to kill Tenko if it was placed there? She probably would have noticed, right? Oh my gosh. Is it really on top? Okay, so somehow it's on top of the cage. I'm lost in this trial. I'm lost. I have no idea who it is, man.
The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down.
But how was it on the cage or in the cage?
The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage.
What?
Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over.
What?
Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw...
So we just never saw it?
Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage.
Huh? No,
she was bent over, meaning
gosh.
the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Wait, but then there's salt.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide.
How are we okay with this? I'm so confused. Wouldn't they have to go through the salt and stomp on the salt? Wouldn't that mess up the circle? Wouldn't we see that? Or did we just not see that because everything's a mess?
Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
Oh boy.
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
Huh? Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
Oh my gosh, not this again. We already went through this. She chose the middle room.
Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance.
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
That's a lie, right? Himiko did such a thing?
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right? He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Himiko?
Uh-oh.
What's wrong, Himiko?
Is it true that using the middle... It is true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea. But does that mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? Would something like that really happen? Something so cruel. That's the halfway point, right? Oh my goodness. I'll see you all the next one. It is so hard. This one is like kind of like the fun house level of difficulty a little bit. I think the fun house one was more difficult, but this one was pretty tough too. Alright, see you later.